What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. We're halfway through the work week, but it's been a great week so far. We had Monday off, so it was a nice 3-day weekend. The Bitcoin conference started yesterday, and oh my God, it was a great first day. It was the industry day. We had a lot of politicians, leaders there. Even our own Dr. J, our CEO of the Crypto Club, was on NBC. I'll play that clip for you. And today we're just going to cover everything that went down yesterday. So I have all these articles from Bitcoin Magazine just highlighting the event. And yeah, they're mainly from Bitcoin Magazine because they're the sponsors of the conference. So we're going to hear about what Senator Cynthia Lummis said. We're going to hear what Donald Trump Jr. said. We had David Sachs yesterday, and as well as Steak and Shake just mentioning that they're saving so much money on processing fees since they started accepting Bitcoin. So lots of stuff going on at the conference. I have some photos from Twitter we can go over to take a look at just who's at the conference and what's going down. But yeah, so that's what we're going to cover today. And then later on too at 1:30, I'm going to do a Sherpa Show special with Steve Blanco. We're the two that are holding down the forts here at the Crypto Club. So he's in Nashville, and I'll be here in our podcast room in Sarasota. And we're just going to be chatting about the conference, chatting about Bitcoin. So that's going to happen at 1:30. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get to the news. What's going on? Let's go through these articles about the Bitcoin magazine. But why is the price going down right now? Everything is kind of in the red. Bitcoin's kind of down. Our price is at 107. We're at 110 this morning. No, the phone, my assistant's not here yet. So that's going to just have to keep ringing. So sorry about that. But no, let's start going through these news articles. But first, let's watch Dr. J on NBC this morning. So yeah, the Bitcoin 25 conference takes over Las Vegas. Let's watch our own on NBC.
The Bitcoin 2025 conference is full steam ahead in Las Vegas. NBC Palm Springs contributor CryptoFits has all the details and exclusive interviews with experts at the world's largest Bitcoin event.
NBC Palm Springs, we've got boots on the ground with our CryptoFits team in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel, the Bitcoin Conference 2025 at the Venetian, and the entire Bitcoin community flying in from all over the world. We're talking about major investors, developers, Capitol Hill, senators, congressmen from both sides of the aisle, all converging on Vegas for 3 days of conferences, speeches, keynote addresses, and a lot of fun. Our CryptoFits boots on the ground from the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club booth on the main floor there is Jay Bose. Jay, thank you so much.
Dr.
What's
Jay.
the vibe up there on day one?
The vibe is electric. There are people from all walks of life who are part of the Bitcoin ecosystem that have converged here. In a city of lights, in a city where spectacles and illusions are created, it is only fitting that Bitcoin, the bastion of truth, gets revealed here by the finest minds from around the world. The main themes center around the fact that Bitcoin is the new crowned king. Fiat is dead, and this is the new wave in which all industry and all businesses and all of society is going to evolve around. The energy is off the charts amazing. There are people who are working in so many parts of the ecosystem. It's not about blockchain anymore. It's actually what we can accomplish around Bitcoin as an underlying platform to spawn a completely new way a society works. That's what the energy is, CryptoFits.
We have such a great lineup of guests this week in the 6 and 11 o'clock news here on NBC Palm Springs, covering Bitcoin Conference 2025 in Las Vegas. 30,000 very passionate, creative people converging on Las Vegas to discuss and explore and learn about the intersection of technology and finance, and especially, of course, Bitcoin. The digital asset, the hedge against inflation, many consider it digital gold and an important part of our country's future. I'm Jimmy Fitz, aka CryptoFits.
Woo! So yeah, that was our Dr. J on NBC. I was trying to look for this yesterday, but I had to specifically look for NBC Palm Springs to find it. But Jay, you did a great job. Like how they called you the tech expert. We know you still consult with me just to be sure everything's going good. But no, way to go. I think you're going to be on the show too as well today. Jay was mentioning I'll be on NBC a couple times. So that was the first one. So hopefully we'll get some more and I'll share that with you. But yeah, like in the article, discussing this, they were talking about, like, let's see, talk about Jimmy Fitz. Well, they talked about Jay. They said they talked about how Jay called the event was just the vibe is electric. Jay Bose from the Bitcoin Bend Crypto Club booth on the conference floor. People from all walks of life who are part of the Bitcoin ecosystem have converged here in a city of lights and spectacle. Bitcoin and the bastion of truth is being revealed by some of the world's finest minds, and it totally is. So I just wanted to share that quick little interview we had going on because, yeah, that's some big news. Crypto Club and NBC. We're just getting exposed everywhere, just trying to tell people we're here to help, we're here to educate you, and just teach you and introduce you to this world of Bitcoin. So yeah, so awesome. Now let's go through some of these articles to hear about what some of the speakers said. And let's start off with Cynthia Loomis, what she discussed. So U.S. Senator Cynthia Loomis discusses Bitcoin Reserve and as well as stablecoin legislation and market structure bill at the Bitcoin 2025 conference. So U.S. Senator Cynthia Loomis and CLO of Coinbase Paul Grewal discussed the market structure bill, stablecoin bill, and the future taxing system, the Bitcoin strategy reserve, and Bitcoin mining as well. Now, at the 2025 Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas, U.S. Senator Cynthia Loomis and CLO of Coinbase Paul Grewal discussed the market structure bill, the stablecoin bill, and the future taxing system, as well as the Bitcoin strategy reserve and Bitcoin mining. But Cynthia Loomis started by commenting about the market structure bill and the stablecoin bill. She said that the market structure bill is probably more important to a lot of people in this conference than the stablecoin bill because there are a lot of businesses. Yours among them, said Loomis. There are businesses for people who either buy and hold, so they want a custodial service, or there are companies that lend Bitcoin. There is a futures market for Bitcoin. There are also so many ways in which Bitcoin can interface with the fiat currency and the US dollar. Now, Loomis also mentioned the tax system that she wants to implement and what her office has submitted to the Finance Committee. Now, as the Lightning Network develops and companies like Strike sort of have been leaders in the space, added that Loomis created an opportunity for transactions to occur on a daily basis in Bitcoin. Now, everything from buying a cup of coffee to dinner somewhere, it would be helpful that certain transactions of this size, below $600 per transaction, not be subject to taxation. Because, yeah, that was always a big thing out there. It's like, really, do I need to pay like a capital gains tax or a loss on this piece of bubble gum I purchased? So having like rules like this is actually really good. Now, during her speech, she went into detail on the biggest problems lawmakers are facing against digital assets. She said that part of the problem in the last 4 years has been largely regulatory agencies that have been very hostile toward digital assets. So we are trying to change as fast as we can, said Loomis. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. We don't even have a confirmed IRS director in place yet, so it is really hard to get these structural changes enacted by the rule makers at the IRS when there is no IRS commission yet in place. Now, ending the panel, Loomis addressed one of the biggest reasons the U.S. government should get into Bitcoin. She said that we are $37 trillion in debt. So if we bought and held 1 million Bitcoin for 20 years, it will cut that debt in half, and we have underperforming assets that can be converted to Bitcoin without borrowing additional money. Bitcoin is such an important global strategic asset. It is not only important in the economy, but in our global defense because there are components to our defense. One is having a lethal warfare of fighting machines that can't overcome other armies, another military effort, and another one is having an economic machine that can overcome other countries. Then she continued on that even our military generals say that Bitcoin is an important deterrent to aggression from other countries, especially from China. So yeah, her final remarks is saying like we need Bitcoiners 5. We're in massive debt right now with $37 trillion. So if we just hold on to this Bitcoin for 20 years, and that's if they can get the 1 million Bitcoin, which I believe they can. Because again, once a government like says they're going to do it, they'll be the ones to do it. Like when it compares to like a company like Strategy, 21 million capital, or even BlackRock, they got to raise money. But with the government, all they got to do is push the button. Oh, let's make that money printer go burr, and then okay, there we go. Here's our money. And then the only struggle now would be just to actually acquire the Bitcoin because it's such a scarce asset. There's only 21 million. Like exchanges are in such low liquidity out there, and you got all these other companies buying straight from the miners out there. So it's going to be a big war to acquire that 1 million. But I believe they could do it at a much faster pace than the institutions could. So that's what's going on, and what Senator Cynthia Lummis has to say. Was it Lummis or is it Lummis? I heard Steve Blanco say her name, but I call her Lummis. So what's the correct way to answer it? Let me know in the comments. Or I don't know how you can say it in the comments. But yeah, so that's what Lummis said. But yeah, at the conference though, Bitcoin Ben and Heidi both got to see her. Now I don't know how much time they got with her, but Heidi was like one of the best moments of my life so far. And there's Bitcoin Ben and Heidi with Senator Lummis on the floor. So I am so curious to see like how much time they had with her, or like it was just a quick photo op. So Heidi, I can't wait till we can have a nice little chat and you can just tell me all about this trip. So I thought this was cool. And just this image alone is like big. Like, so that is very, very cool. And I really do love what's happening with the conference right now and just Bitcoin in general. It's like we have evolved and matured so much. Like 4 or 5 years ago, we would not even imagine seeing politicians, institutions, and governments like just coming to these conferences at all. It'd just be the influencers out there. We believe in it. Yes, it's going there. But now it's like where we're at, it's just showing Bitcoin's maturity happen. And like as this the adoption with it, it's crazy. So we're living in the moment right now. We're seeing it happen. So collect that Bitcoin and enjoy this ride, because again, if the government holds 1 million Bitcoin and they're not touching it for 20 years, yeah, it's going to be even harder to get. So yeah, so that's our Cynthia Lummis of what she was talking about. Now let's move on to Donald Trump Jr. He spoke yesterday too, and he unveils a $2.5 billion Bitcoin purse. He said, we're going to the moon. That's right. So at the Bitcoin 2025 conference, Don Trump Jr. and Rumble, Chris Pavlovski, unveiled a bold move in Bitcoin, citing a $2.5 billion crypto treasury and a new pro-crypto political climate as game changers. And that's also like who's joining the game. Like we have actual politicians. Like last year, sure, we had Trump. He attended the Nashville conference, but he wasn't president yet. But today, we're actually speaking right now at the conference, you know, always watch on the live stream on Bitcoin Magazine, but we have a vice president actually attending the Bitcoin conference. So again, just so much more mature, not just the institutions, banks never get involved. We have the politicians coming to these events and just seeing it. So yeah, so let's hear what JD Vance has to say. Well, not JD Vance. Let's hear what Donald Trump Jr. has to say. So in an interview at the Bitcoin 2025 conference today, Rumble founder and CEO Chris Pavlovski sat down with Donald Trump Jr. to talk free speech, Bitcoin, and a seismic shift in the financial system fueled by the current administration's pro-crypto stance. And just in, Donald Trump Jr. said the floodgates are opening for Bitcoin. So guys, so how much we gotta say? It's going to get harder and harder to get Bitcoin. So just saying, I wasn't an early adopter like so many people in the room who were here in 2012. Trump Jr. admitted, but we were real estate guys. Finance was always easy for us. But Trump Jr. revealed that the TMTG and TruthSocial are forming a Bitcoin treasury to the tune of $2.5 billion, a move he called a pretty big deal. Now, the announcement comes alongside new partnerships, including one with mining giant Hut 8 and the launch of a new group focused on building American Bitcoin reserves. He said, "We seriously on crypto. We're seriously on Bitcoin." Trump Jr. emphasized that we're in 3 major deals, and I believe we're at the beginning of what will be the future of finance, and the opportunity is massive. Chris Pavlovski also agreed, saying we weren't a Bitcoin company to start off with, but we were a free speech company. But I almost think we're at that all of a sudden moment that the floodgates are opening. Now, the pair drew comparisons between Bitcoin and Rumble, describing both as targets of relentless media and regulatory pressure, but Bitcoin has had things thrown at it, laws, attacks, said Pavlovski. Same with Rumble. But we're in an environment now where the administration is extremely pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin. Now, the latest adopters are going to fare the worst, said Trump Jr., and warned it's the future of finance. So I'm so excited to see the administration stepping up. Rumble's Bitcoin strategy, including its move to build reserves, was directly inspired by the shift, and it gave me all kinds of confidence that the administration would do all the right things, Pavlovski said. Also, Trump gets this stuff. He gets it quick, Trump Jr. closed. We're going to the moon, guys, so stay in strong. So he's saying his pops, our president, Donald Trump himself, like he gets crypto, he gets Bitcoin, he understands where it's going, it's our financial future. And that's why they're saying like the floodgates are open. And what else did he just say right here? Like we're seriously in Bitcoin. We're in the 3 major deals. We were getting what's the future of finance, and the opportunity is massive. Yeah, this is the future of finance, and this opportunity is a once in a lifetime, guys. Like, we won't get this opportunity again, probably for another like 100 years, 50 years, or whatever. But it's like, this is your life-changing moment. So, like, if you're struggling out there and you're just paycheck to paycheck, like, still just acquire some Bitcoin now. You don't need to buy a full Bitcoin, so don't let that 108,000 price scare you away. Bitcoin can be broken apart to fractions. It can be broken apart to 1/100th of a millionth of a coin. So even though you're seeing like 0.000, a lot of zeros out there, just start collecting it, getting it in your own wallet, and then you will be set in the future. Because again, like, Bitcoin will eventually be $1 million coin. It could be a $10 million coin. And like, these are just predictions and guesses, but like, just from where we're headed, like how fast we're going to get there, we don't know, but we do know it is going. And just from this just game change happening right now, just the pro crypto friendly policies administration we have on board, we've never been in this position before. So guys, like, yeah, a lot of people are going to miss out. Don't be one of them. So that's what Donald Trump Jr. is saying, how they're going to acquire 2.5 billion Bitcoin for also the Rumble company as well. So again, it's getting gobbled up. Government, institutions, businesses, banks, everybody's getting involved, guys. So I don't know how many times I got to keep saying it or just keep presenting it to you. Hopefully one day it will click. But let's continue on with what else was happening yesterday. We also have the White House Executive Director Bo Hines declares U.S. the future global crypto superpower. So yes. So at the beginning of the 2025 conference, Bo Hines, Tyler Williams, and moderator Miles Jennings laid out a roadmap for U.S. dominance in Bitcoin economy, citing new legislation, regulations, and presidential support. Now there's Bo Hines himself. Now, in a session at the Bitcoin 2025 conference this morning titled Making America the Global Bitcoin Superpower, Bo Hines, the White House Executive Director, and Tyler Williams from the U.S. Treasury Department and moderator Miles Jennings made one thing clear. The United States is going all in on Bitcoin and fast. So guys, we got so much inside news about it, and like, these guys are clearly stating like the United States is going all in on it. So when they want to get that 1 million Bitcoin, it's going to happen like that. Well, not like that, but they're going to clear up such a huge chunk. Like, all the over the counters will be drained. All the mining companies are probably have to start striking some deals, going, oh, who are we going to sell this Bitcoin to first? And then they're probably doing premiums as well. And then again, once like they can't get it from those guys anymore, or any peer-to-peer person willing to sell them that Bitcoin, they're going to have to go to the exchanges. And when that happens, that's when we're going to see Bitcoin's price just spike. So it's going to happen fast. But here is the tweet from Bitcoin Magazine showcasing that President Trump's executive director said that Bitcoin is the golden standard. We're not going to sell any Bitcoin that we possibly have in the U.S. government, period. So yeah, I love when he said that. He said like, yeah, Bitcoin isn't just the gold standard or the new gold standard out there. It is the golden standard. It's the only one to do it. So that was pretty powerful when he said that. And we are well on our way to becoming the Bitcoin superpower of the world, said Bo Hines. This is something that is not partisan. This is a revolution in our financial system. Moderator Miles Jennings pointed to key regulatory steps currently in motion. If the bill becomes law, and I hope it does, we will have quite an active role. The connective tissue between the legacy financial system and the Bitcoin, stablecoins, and everything else will really be paved with stablecoin legislation, Jenny said. And yeah, that was a great talk about it, because they were mentioning stablecoins. Like, it's not really a competitor with Bitcoin. They complement each other. So if you make more of the stable coins, there's more power to go around. Like, it just I forgot how they said it, but it really does complement each other. So they're not hurting or taking power away from one another. They work with each other right there. But Hines emphasized that updating the payment rails is necessary, and we are well on our way to achieving that. He also noted that upcoming market structure legislation will define how intermediaries like exchanges and brokers are regulated, and how digital assets are classified, either securities or commodities. Now, we want folks to innovate here, Hines stressed. We can't be fearful of them walking into the SEC and getting a Wells notice before they even get onto the elevator, he added. That U.S. regulators are now encouraging crypto innovators to return. Our message to folks have gone offshore and is welcome home now. So they were really stressing that. It's like, we don't want to push people away, stifle business. We want businesses to work with each other, because that was a part of the Genius Act. They had to put in there like non-banks in creating a stablecoins act, because if we didn't have that in there, that'll be pushing people away. It's like, oh no, you have to be a bank, you got to follow these rules. So the stablecoin regulation is definitely going to benefit just crypto and blockchain in general. But Williams highlighted that any new laws must reflect the unique architecture of the decentralized finance. Traditional markets are based on a principal agent model, he explained, but crypto moves us toward a principal to principal structure. He noted that after regulatory support for the ETP marketplace, institutional Bitcoin adoption surged and believes the same would happen again under stablecoin and market structure legislation. Now, the most bullish comment of the morning came from Heinz when he said that Bitcoin is truly the golden standard. Now, this is an asset that we should be harnessing on behalf of the American people, and we want as much as we possibly can get. Now, we're going big on digital assets, added Tyler. You will certainly see the United States stepping out as the Bitcoin superpower of the world. And Heinz concluded that you can watch that's what Heinz concluded. But again, you can watch this entire panel on the Bitcoin conference from Bitcoin Magazine. The link was in that article too, right there. But then again, if you just go there, the Bitcoin conference 2021 day live stream. Be sure it's Bitcoin Magazine, not some fake. Wait, why am I not subscribed to them? Oh, wait, no. We're on my other channel. We're on the Paul Lucci channel. But yeah, so the Bitcoin Magazine conference is where you can watch it on YouTube. But no, so that was powerful when he just said, like, this is the golden standard, and we just gotta get as much as we can for the American people. So that's what was discussed during the Bo Heinz discussion panel out there, stablecoin regulations, where Bitcoin's headed, and the US is all in on it. So that was going on there. Now let's move on to crypto czar. David Sachs says the US could possibly acquire more Bitcoin. So yeah, the main discussions of this were just about the big main theme was the US is going to be acquiring more Bitcoin, like that alone. Like, we sure other companies adopting as well, but the main theme was the US is moving to a Bitcoin standard, so get on board. But White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs says that Donald Trump's crypto executive order allows the government to purchase more Bitcoin if it's done in a budget neutral way. So let's see. So White House AI crypto czar David Sachs says the US could buy more Bitcoin if the government can fund the purchase in a budget neutral way without a tax or adding to the growing national debt. Now, Sachs told Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss during a May 20 fireside chat at the Bitcoin 25 conference that while he can't promise anything, a pathway does exist for the government to buy more Bitcoin. However, it would require convincing Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick or Treasury Secretary Scott Benson to okay the buy and fund it without a new tax or adding to the debt. Sachs said, adding that maybe by finding the money from some other program that's not using it, then we could potentially acquire more Bitcoin. Now, the question is, can we get either the Treasury Department or the Commerce Department to get as excited about that? Because if they do and they can figure out how to fund it, they'll actually do it and have presidential authority to do it as well. Now, the US can buy Bitcoin if it doesn't sting the budget. The March 6 executive order authorizing the creation of a crypto reserve states it would hold any Bitcoin forfeited as part of a criminal or civil asset forfeiture. Sachs noted that part of the executive order allows the government to purchase more if it's done in a budget neutral way, but specifically if either the Commerce Department or the Treasury Department can figure out how to fund it without adding to the debt, then they're allowed to create those programs, he said. But the U.S. holds approximately 198,012 Bitcoin, according to an April report from CoinGecko, and that's roughly worth $21 billion at the current price. Now, most of its holdings came from two seizures connected to the online marketplace Silk Road, one in November of 2020 that netted 69,370 Bitcoin, and another in March of 2022 that a solid authority seized 51,351 Bitcoin. So that was a majority of our Bitcoin that we've collected and seized. But the US also seized 94,636 Bitcoin from Bitfinex hacker Ilya Lichtenstein on January 31st, 2022, after authorities hacked into his cloud storage account, which contained a file holding around 2,000 crypto wallet addresses and corresponding private keys. Then in January, the US Department of Justice received the green light to sell 198,109 Bitcoin. And previously, the government sold a small portion of its holding in March when it offloaded 9,861 Bitcoin. And yeah, when they were doing that, it's like, what are you doing? It's 2023, like the happenings next year. And this was still before the Bitcoin ETFs. And then we had this whole run up and full blown adoption start happening. So when they were selling that, it's like, oh, come on, Trump, get in the presidency right now, because we can't keep following on these Biden era rules where it's like, let's just get rid of it. So yeah, that was definitely some times when we're seeing the Bitcoin price. It's not really moving so fast. It was like, yeah, yeah, these guys are stifling it. But luckily, they didn't sell all of it. So again, we still currently hold 198,000 Bitcoin, just a little shy above that, and we are not touching it at all. So let's see. So if we're holding that much, we really only need then 800,000 more Bitcoin to reach that 1 million Bitcoin mark. So it's possible. It can happen. But that's what David Sachs had to say at the conference. Now let's move on to some leaders rally behind Bitcoin at the Bitcoin 25 conference. We got strategic reserves, market clarity, and legislative momentum. So at the Bitcoin 25, top U.S. lawmakers and Coinbase chief policy officer discussed the U.S. government shifting tone on Bitcoin, strategic reserves, regulatory framework, and legislation, all pointing toward a bullish future for digital assets. So at the Bitcoin 2025, top U.S. lawmakers and Coinbase chief policy officer discussed the U.S. government's shifting tone on Bitcoin, strategic reserve, regulatory frameworks, and legislation, all pointing toward a bullish future for digital assets. Now, in a panel moderated by Grant McCarty, co-president of the Bitcoin Policy Institute, the Bitcoin 2025 conference saw a major spotlight on the U.S. policy shifts surrounding digital assets. We got U.S. Representative Byron Donalds and Brian Steele were joined by Farar Shahzad, Chief Policy Officer at Coinbase, to highlight what they described as a watershed moment for the Bitcoin in Washington. And here is the tweet from him saying that Justin, U.S. Congressman Byron Donalds, says he's voting for the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act, and Bitcoin has proven to be a holder of value. So this just isn't just a saying where it's a store of value anymore. It's a great way to hedge against inflation. It's proven itself to do it. So these guys are finally getting it, and now hopefully they can reach the American people and just the normal public in general. Because again, these last 4 years have just been naysaying on crypto. People still believe it's a Ponzi scheme. There's no intrinsic value to it. It's made out of thin air. So people have just been so misinformed about it that they just don't want to learn anymore. Or again, that's also a problem still in general with people. It's like, once you finish school, it's like, why do I need to learn anymore? So that's just something big that people got to get past. Because again, there's a lot of people out there who skip the technology boom out there. Like when computers and internets were coming out, your phones, some people were just like, I don't want to deal with that or learn about it. So they just skipped it. They just still lived the cash lifestyle. They worked, they did their life. But now we're coming into the crypto and Bitcoin industry, and they're starting to go, oh man, I just don't get this technology. I can't figure out how my phone works or how do I do this. So they've really missed out. So it just shows like you really, like, as we're evolving and being and innovating for the future, you want to pick up these like just little technology like toys that come out, just play with it to get a feel for it. So that way when the next technology like big shift happens, like we're seeing with financial system, you're not going to be just left in the dark and behind on it. So how did I even get to this point? Oh yeah, I was just talking about just being proven as a store of value. But let's continue on with this article to hear more. But what the president and his team are doing is choosing to step into the digital assets marketplace, said Byron Donalds. Bitcoin is a key asset because it has demonstrated to be a holder of value outside of the fiat currency and central banks. Donalds emphasized that President Trump is taking a long view and is strategically recognizing Bitcoin's role in national reserve capacity. Now, Brian Steele pointed to Trump's media magnetism and political leverage as the driver of the bills, giving us the ability to drive forward. He noted that legislation is difficult to pass, but with the executive support, there's newfound energy and opportunity to cross the finish line. Now, Shahzad and the sentiment, the tone from the top point, is exactly what Donald Trump has showed us. He wants a market structure built. He wants much more of a strategic approach. And Coinbase Shahzad added that he sees the impact firsthand. Legislators now recognize the need to support innovation rather than stifle it. So yeah, again, the policies changed, people's views have changed, and they realize they got to get it on board. Now, Donald added that if you talk to any business owner in the world, the number one thing they desire more than anything else is certainly inconsistency. So that he said this will turn Bitcoin into $1 trillion industry in the US, instead of one bogged down by regulatory ambiguity and legal overhead. And on the regulatory front, Steele noted that under the Biden administration, policy was being developed through enforcement actions. Bitcoin is decentralized and should be treated as a commodity. Shahzad agreed, pushing for a regulatory therapy to unleash billions still sidelined. McCarty closed with a mention of the Blockchain Regulatory Clarity Act legislation that would protect open source developers from rogue regulatory action. It allows developers to operate without being punished at all. So that's actually pretty good news because, again, like, developers are just coders. They make something and then people start using it, it gets boomed. It's like, oh, let's blame this guy. He created something we don't like. So this is actually good that that's getting pushed through. But Donald summed it up that there's only going to be 21 million ever in creation, and that can't be eroded by central banks. So a strategic reserve for Bitcoin is critical, in my opinion, for the United States. So they get it. It's 21 million. It's scarce. There's no more out there. So this is a critical moment to just take place. Like, are you going to get Bitcoin? Are you not? And you're just going to keep just struggling through life. So if you want to stop struggling, buy some Bitcoin. But that was basically it. I think we just got one last article talking with Steak and Shake. Yes, so they reveal Bitcoin payment success at the Bitcoin 25 conference. Let's hear about this since they started accepting Bitcoin payments on May 16th. Now, Dan Edwards announces that Steak and Shake's global Bitcoin rollout, stating major transaction volume, reduced fees, and plans for blockchain-powered innovation. So speaking at the conference this morning, or yesterday, Steak and Shake executive Dan Edwards shared new data and insights from the company's recent move to accept Bitcoin and payments globally via the Lightning Network. He said that the fast food giant Steak and Shake announced that they're saving 50% in processing fees for accepting Bitcoin payments. It's because Bitcoin is faster than credit cards and is cheaper. So on May 16th, we began accepting Bitcoin as payments in all of our locations. We're permitted to do so by law, Edwards began. So this is a global implementation. According to Edwards, Bitcoin transactions are already outperforming expectations. And the day we launched Bitcoin, 1 out of every 500 Bitcoin transactions in the world happened at Steak and Shake, he said. Nice. Now, Steak and Shake is also saving significantly on processing fees. Bitcoin is faster than credit cards, and when customers choose to pay in Bitcoin, we're saving 50% in the processing fees, said Edwards. That makes Bitcoin a win for the customer, a win for us, and a win for the Bitcoin community. He emphasized that the decision was not a publicity stunt, but a serious payment upgrade. We didn't see this as a marketing gimmick, but we saw it as a viable option to pay on par with other globally accepted methods. Now, the company reports that the customers' behavior have already shifted. We've seen sustained spikes since adding Bitcoin, Edwards noted, and Edwards also teased that the company's future plans calling for more technical talent. We're not done. We're investing in cyber chiefs, autonomous drives, AI tech, and we need engineers to help us build it. Now, to celebrate Bitcoin's integration, limited edition Bitcoin-themed menu items are launching this week in Las Vegas, including the Bitcoin Burger, supersized Bitcoin Meal, and the Bitcoin Milkshake. A blockchain menu is also in the works, so that's pretty cool. So celebrate the use of Bitcoin, Edwards concluded, because this is just the beginning. And yes, it is, guys. It is just the beginning. So if you think we're still going to have a normal dip, we can still kind of think about the previous cycles that have a dip, or you can just kind of realize, like, times have changed. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of adoption. There's pro-administration involved. It's like, can we go down? Maybe a little dip, but not as what we used to. So this is just the beginning, guys. Just keep stacking those sats. But that is everything that really went down in Vegas. Let's take a look at some quick photos on Twitter showcasing some of the events. Like this one, we had the Vegas, the Gemini, or the orange Cybertrucks entering the stage. So they have arrived. Love the music. So that was from Gemini. And who else did we got there? Oh, let me turn that one off. So we got also Sailor being given a Bitcoin credit card from the Gemini brothers, and they were like, we know he's worth it. So got Sailor, Tyler, and how can I not forget the other brother's name? Tyler and Bitcoin credit card, Tyler and, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm brain farting. Tyler and something Winklevoss. But yeah, they're him presenting it. They said, like, we're giving you the max biggest available options because we know you're good for it. So that was pretty cool. We even got Max Kaiser out there with Joe Perry. They're rocking and rolling as F in the backstage Vegas. Who else even showed up? We even got Peter Schiff showing up. He was like, I'm off to Las Vegas for the Bitcoin conference this morning, where ironically, I'll likely be speaking who's best understands Bitcoin. So that's going to be interesting. And then today, for the first time in history, a sitting vice president of the United States will give a keynote at the Bitcoin conference. So yeah, so I believe he is speaking right now. We can take a look at the agenda at B.TC conference. So let's see, we got the opening remarks from David Bailey. And yep, at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have J.D. Vance, the keynote speaker there, speaking on the Nakamoto stage. And then who else we got going on today? We got David Bailey, Eric Adams. I'm trying to see the big names. I want to know when Ross Albright is speaking, so I don't think he spoke yesterday. I think his mom spoke up. We got Matt Crosby, Ben Cowan, and Antoine. There's so many events going on. Max let's see, Trey Morgan. Let's see, I guess the events you joined the very beginning of the day is like the biggest one. Because, yeah, yesterday was the big event. We had all the politicians there. David Soray, Zach Townsend, let's see, Darren, Eric, anything else? We're coming close to the midway point. Sometimes they save some good people for the end. Let's see, we got the Natalie Brunelli on CoinShare, so she'll be speaking at 11:30, 2:30 Eastern time. And let's see, so Natalie Brunelli, we got JD Vance. Who are some other big names? I thought I heard Linda Alden was going to be speaking today. Let's see, who else do we got? Peter Jenny, Anthony Power. Let's see, Matt Hura. We're almost to the end of the day. Power to the Poor, Matt Hill, Taylor. Let's see, is that the only time he's speaking? Christopher? And there's still more other events. We're just really showing all the stage events, mining. But the big events always happen on the Nakamoto stage. Jeremiah Rubel, just going down the list. This is everything going on right now, people, for today's events. I'm just trying to verify. Oh, we got Eric Trump speaking at 1:30, so that's 4:30. So, okay, so those are the big names I just wanted to see. So we got, first starting off, JD Vance. In the afternoon, we got Natalie Brunelli. Then more towards the evening, if you're on the East Coast, like here in Sarasota, Florida, at 4:30, we're going to have Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr. speaking, as well as the Bitcoin as a public asset and the rise of new Bitcoin business models. And just want to see one last thing. We're almost at the end. Come on, when's Ross Albright speaking? Where is he? Olivia, Sanja, Tracy. Oh, Eric Trump speaking again at 2:15. And then let's see, what else do we got? Eric, Smet, Sagoon, Alexander. So yeah, lots of stuff going on at the conference. And again, if you're down there, stop by the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club booth. We're at 2833. And Natalie Brunel. Nope, that's Nolan. But yeah, so all these events are going on. But yeah, so that's what's happening at the Bitcoin conference. Tons of great speakers. And again, we just know the United States is all in on crypto now. So just take that as a grain of salt. Are we going to boom? Probably. The news says we are, but how long will that take? Maybe a couple days, maybe a week for it to really enact. But that's it, everybody. Hope everyone enjoyed the show and the recap of the Bitcoin conference. I will be back again tomorrow for more crypto news. Probably do another recap. Maybe I'll bring up some news articles from other crypto things happening. Like today, GameStop bought its official first 4,000 Bitcoin to their balance sheet. So that was some crypto news. Everything's basically probably going to be just talking about the conference, what was discussed, what's happening. But I love hearing that news too. But everyone have a fabulous day. I will be doing another live stream in an hour with Steve Blanco from our Nashville club. So I'll see you then on that show.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.